Welcome to Las Vegas.
At the line of scrimmage.
Run again, rejected. Absolute bulldozer. He is bouncing off defenders and dragged down. And Max.
0-1 in the air to deep left. Houston, you do have a problem. His name is the Big Amish.
This kid is incredible.
Dumps it in. Stewart juggles, catches. 6 seconds left. Stewart with 5. Draws the double. Laney to the corner. Vandersloot. No! And that is it! An unforgettable finish to Game 4. A resilient conclusion to a remarkable season for the Las Vegas Aces, and for the first time in 21 years, the WNBA has a back-to-back champion. The Aces on top yet again.
Welcome back to the Pints and Parlays podcast. I'm Mike.
And I'm Aaron, and I am still coming to you live from Boulder Station Racing Sportsbook.
And I'm still coming to you live from
All right,
my house.
so I know I know that we promised y'all a show on Wednesday, but due to Mike's work schedule, we were unable to do it. So we have to do it today, guys. But we are still getting it in early enough for the first NFL game. It's exciting. Football is officially back, baby.
Absolutely, and I'm sorry I zoomed in a little bit. I don't know what that looks like.
I noticed, it scared the shit out of me. I was not expecting that. And my face. All right.
Hey, it's a pretty face, so it's okay. You got your stations hat on. I can see that. I got my Jaron Duran hat. This says "fuck 'em" on it. So go Sox.
Go. Okay, so what do we want to talk about first? Do we want to talk about our division winners first, or do we want to talk about the first game first?
I just thought of something that me and you didn't talk about, but we can. Have you seen the overlay in this circuit Have you seen the 3 circuit contests they have now? It's like
no, 16, I haven't.
It's like 16 million guaranteed. It's insane.
Jesus Christ. Well, there's a lot of money opportunities out there if you want to get into some contests.
They were running a special, I saw at one point, that it was an entry fee. Their normal entry fee was $1,000, and they were running a special where you could enter for half off. If you entered 9 or more, you got a free 2-night stay. So yeah, great. I just spent $10,000 to give me 2 free nights at Circa. How about that one?
Woohoo!
I'm money well spent, I guess.
I'd say the joke that's on my mind, but it's not appropriate for the podcast. I think you know which one I would make too.
No, I got you. So like you just mentioned, we can talk about. We want to go through our division picks for NFL, our future picks, Super Bowl picks, MVP. And then we'll break into a little bit to Thursday night's game. When we record tomorrow, we'll do like our picks for Sunday. But we want to make sure you guys get out there and get some picks in. It's going to be a lot of fun. Football is back, baby.
Let's go. And none of this preseason bull crap either. This is regular knock 'em or kill 'em freaking football. Let's go.
Let's talk about our Vegas team first. Our Vegas division, the AFC West. AFC West is going to be very interesting. I think that the Raiders are going to be very competitive in that division, but it's going to be a very, very competitive division all the way around. Chargers are going to be better in year 2 under Harbaugh. Denver's going to
Yep.
be better with year 2 under Sean Payton. And you have Pete Carroll coming in, hell of a football coach. And then you have, the almighty Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes.
Yes, sir. So, unfortunately, I think the Raiders are probably going to bring up the end of their division. Just because it's hard to go against Mahomes. The Chargers were really good last year. Bo Nix was pretty freaking good for a first-year quarterback, so he's going to have year 2. Now, does he hit a quarterback slump, the sophomore slump, or does he come in strong like he did last year? I just don't know, man. I mean, I don't think the Raiders are gonna. I'm not saying that they're gonna be bad. I just don't think that they're gonna finish in the top 2 of their division.
No, I think it's going to be the Chiefs and then the Chargers. I mean, not in order. I mean, I think the Chiefs, I agree with you, are going to win that division as well. It's
Right.
hard. Mahomes has won that division, I think, 7 straight years. Every year he's been a starting quarterback, basically. And he has the division's number. It's kind of similar to what Brady. I know that people. I don't like the comparisons to Brady and Mahomes, but because I don't think Mahomes is there yet. But it's kind of similar to what Brady ran through the AFC East and when he was in New England. It was, you could basically pencil in Patriots winning division, barring a Brady injury, pretty much.
Right.
And and if you think about it from that perspective, he carried some really, really bad wide receivers, and now this is the chance that you can see maybe Mahomes do that. Granted, Hollywood Brown is good, but he's always hurt. Rashee Rice he's suspended for the first 6 games, but he's still a weapon. They drafted Jalen Royals out of Utah State. You got to think Pacheco is going to be healthy again, and that defense is always good. So it's hard to bet against Kansas City. But
and then you know that they're going to do the Xavier Worthy freaking screen pass all the time too, because that dude is just so fast.
I mean, if you talk about second-year leaps, it's going to be, is Worthy make that second-year leap too? How explosive does he look? Because they're going to be the Chiefs. They're going to be hard to beat. They're going to be everybody's target, and it's going to see if they can survive and advance. Really, I mean, the Chargers are going to be better. Their running back room, I think, is improved. Adding Najee Harris, who's expected to play in Week 1, even though he blew up, had a firework injury and hurt his eye. And then, they drafted a running back in the top 15 in Omarion Hampton. So we'll see. I think that, their question mark is at receiver, but that seems like it's every year with the Chargers. Their defense was good. So we'll see how they can do. Denver's kind of the same thing. I mean, you have J.K. Dobbins as their number 1 back. He's always hurt. He's good.
They also did bring back Keenan Allen.
Yeah, Keenan Allen too. So we'll see how they do. The Raiders, I think, are a question mark. I will get into what my surprise pick is, but I can drop it now a little bit. I think they go over their win total. I think of 7.5. I think they're going to be tougher than people give them credit for. They're going to be in. They're going to be in every game until the end. So it's going to be a matter of people.
And like I said, I didn't say that they weren't going to be competitive. I just don't see them beating the other 3 teams in their division for the division.
I don't either. Let's move on. AFC North. That division's brutal every year between the top 3 teams: the Steelers, Bengals, and Ravens. You got to think Joe Burrow has a bounce back season. If he's any type of good, like the MVP level we know he can play at, and that defense is just keeps them in games, they're going to be able to compete and win a lot of games. Baltimore is, the class of that division right now. And Pittsburgh's the big question mark. They're, round 500. They make the playoffs consistently under Mike Tomlin. But it's going to be, what does Aaron Rodgers and DK Metcalf in that offense look like?
Well, and see, this brings me to my surprise pick. I'm going to take Pittsburgh over 8.5 because Mike Tomlin's always had a winning record, whether it makes the playoffs or not. He's always plus 500. So that's going to be my pick for the season win total. Pittsburgh over 8.5.
I think too, if Rodgers is any better than what Russell Wilson was, you got to think that they win 10 games, right?
Yeah, you would think. I mean, Russell just wasn't it for Pittsburgh. And I don't know if I don't even know if he's going to be the starter for long in New York, honestly. But we'll get into the NFC later. But I think, but that's my pick for the season win total is over 8.5 for Pittsburgh.
AFC North, you got to think that it's the Texans and everybody else in that division. I don't see
the
the
South.
AFC South. Sorry, yeah, I don't think, in my opinion, that you have, Daniel Jones is not really going to compete with that Texans team. I don't think Tennessee is going to be a bottom feeder again. I mean, the question mark in that division is if Jacksonville bounces back, but they have a new coach. We'll see how they do, but they're a question mark.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's going to bring into account the fact that they drafted Travis Hunter. And we were talking about this earlier. Honestly, I think he burns out, man. Like trying to play both ways in the NFL is a lot different than playing subpar college teams. Like he's going to be tired. And you can kind of see it in some of the preseason games when he was playing both ways. He started getting beat on defense because he was running offense as well. So I don't know, man. I think he gets burned out pretty quick.
I mean, if you think about it too, even if it's not getting burnt out per se, right? It's really, he's going to be facing, if he's their number one wide receiver, he's facing a number one corner every week. And a number one corner in the NFL is a lot different than a number one corner in the Big 12.
Yes. I mean, you got to look at my boy, Derek Stingley. I mean, that's probably who he's going to face when they play the Texans. And he ain't called stingy for no reason. You know what I'm saying? So trying to play against a number one corner and then go and play on the defensive side of the ball as well, I don't see it. I don't see it working out for him.
Oh, sorry. Go back to the AFC West. Did you see Amari Cooper already retired?
Yeah. As soon as he signed his deal with the Raiders, he said, and I'm out.
Yeah, it's like he's like, yep, the NFL's not for me anymore. I'm done. Later. Yep.
I mean, he's had a decently long career, I guess.
But I mean, people thought he'd come in there and compete with that wide receiver room, and obviously he couldn't. So he took a step back and he's done. I mean, some people know when their body just isn't right anymore.
He's in his 30s. He's getting up there. Why try to compete with kids who are just coming out of college? I mean, it's still hard to do. Honestly, I'm surprised Keenan Allen is still trying.
I think he wanted I think he wanted to retire as a Charger.
And I think Amari was the same way because the Raiders drafted Amari. So I think he wanted to go out as a Raider.
Then my biggest question mark in the AFC East, I'm sorry, in AFC is the AFC East. The Bills obviously are the Bills. They're going to be the class of that division. And then everything else, I mean, are teams that are question marks. How are the Jets going to do with a new coach? Still a good defense, but you have Justin Fields at quarterback. The Dolphins they're good when Tua is healthy. If Tua is not healthy, they're terrible. I mean, their backup quarterback, Zach Wilson, that's not going to win any games in that division. And then the Patriots. Patriots are obviously going to take a step forward under Mike Vrabel, and they spent big. But at the end of the day, it's weird. It's going to be the Bills, obviously, are my pick to win that division. I assume they're yours as well.
Yeah, same. The wild card for me would be the Dolphins because of how jacked Waddle got over the offseason. Like, the dude turned into a linebacker. Like, it's unbelievable. So we'll see if his new size hinders his speed or his catching ability because it could have hindered his flexibility as well.
Yeah, and you got to think, they have A-Chain is a great running back, but he's hurt. So what do they have behind him? Tua, great quarterback. He's very underrated. One hit away from basically ending his life at this point. So, like, it's going to be very interesting. And then the Patriots, it's kind of the same thing that we talk about with Bo Nix. And, we talked about a little bit with Worthy. Like, does Drake May take that step in year 2? Is that offense any better? They got Stephon Diggs. They finally have a number one receiver. Does he come back healthy? The defense is going to be fine. The defense is going to be fine under Vrabel. So it's going to be, does Stephon Diggs take that? Does he come back healthy? Do you have, their running game is going to be good with Ramondre Stevenson and Travion Henderson. So are they going to be able to compete in that division? And then are they going to be able to, win the games they need to win? And we were talking about it a little bit. My opinion, being a Patriots fan, is you're going to see week 1 against the Raiders how prepared and how ready to go they are. Because if they come in and they take care of business against the Raiders, they have a winnable game week 2, and then you have Pittsburgh and Carolina after that. If they can come in, take care of business, show that they're ready to compete, they could easily start the season 4-0 before they have to play Buffalo.
Well, and see, I saw the NFL.com predictions, and everybody has the Raiders beating y'all, except for one person. Out of the 5 predictions, 4 were for Las Vegas, and then there was 1 for y'all. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can prove all them naysayers wrong.
Right, and I think that they're doubting Vrabel a little bit. I think they had a good. I mean, they won week 1 last year. I mean, they won 3 games last year, and they won week 1 against Cincinnati, who granted loses every year week 1 under Burrow, but
they go 0-2 actually, but typically.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, like they won that game.
Yeah.
They won that game last year. Then they didn't win again for a while. It's going to be if they can win that week 1, come in prepped. How do they bounce to week 2? If they can take care of business week 2, they can compete with the Jets the Steelers, and because week 2 is against Miami on the road.
Right.
That's your first real test, and if you go in and you're competitive in that game, and even if you come out with a loss, you can still be 3-1 and sitting in a good spot. Who do you think is going to win the AFC? And who's your wild card team? Like, who's your surprise team in the AFC?
So, I mean, obviously, it's very, very hard to go against Mahomes in the AFC. But I know I'm going to be a little biased here, but I like my dark horse to be the Texans to win the AFC. Mainly because we've improved our offensive line. Hopefully we can give Stroud a little bit more time. You also got DeMeco Ryans' defense, which is top 5 in the NFL. So honestly, like if they're my dark horse to win the AFC would be the Texans.
I think too that like when you're picking these, like it's always going to come down to what matchup they get in the playoffs. If the Texans get a good road, or my dark horse team in the AFC, I think, is Denver. I think Denver, if they get the right matchups and they get potentially a home playoff game, they can do some damage. Mile High is a hard place to win, so it's they can be a dark horse too. Not saying they'll win the division, but they could come up and easily sneak a playoff win or two. My pick for the AFC is Baltimore. I think Lamar finally gets over the hump. We saw that a couple years ago with Burrow. He lost a couple times to Patrick Mahomes, and he finally got one, and they blew that Super Bowl against the Rams. I think this may be the year you see the Chiefs kind of look good in the regular season, kind of take a step back in the playoffs. But I think that Baltimore has a good chance to get them, especially if they get a higher seed and they get a rematch with them in an AFC title game in Baltimore. I think that, I think Baltimore can, this is the year they can finally get over the hump. And it's going to see if Lamar can take that next step again. He looked a lot better in the last year in the playoffs. See if he can take another step and finally get over that hump.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look at the NFC.
NFC East. We'll start there. So the NFC East doesn't have back-to-back champions very often. Hasn't happened since the 2010s. The last couple years it was Eagles, Cowboys. My pick is I finally seesawed and went this way. I think Washington wins that division. I think Jaden Daniels takes a step forward. That team is too talented for them not to win a division. I think, like you mentioned, you had some concerns about Philly's defense.
Yeah, because they gave away a lot of their players. Like they gave away C.J. Gardner to my Texans, although he's injured. Still, he's not on the team anymore. They gave away some of their key front five, their tackles and their linebackers. I mean, y'all got one. I mean, their defense has been broken down, and that typically is what happens with most Super Bowl champions. The freaking players find their value, teams are willing to pay it, and then so they go elsewhere. So it can hurt a defense. I agree. I think it's going to be Washington. I do think that obviously Philly will make the playoffs because they're Philly, and it's hard to go against Jalen Hurts because, I mean, he's just been spectacular these past few seasons. But I do agree, if Jaden Daniels can hone everything in, there's no reason why Washington shouldn't win this division.
Yeah, I
Although
think
they did just trade Brian Robinson to the 49ers.
yeah, but they have the rookie McCroskett something. He's been getting a lot of hype and carries. He made the team. That he looked so well in camp as a 7th-round pick that he took Brian Robinson's spot. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Trade him.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. I think as much as people like to give Deebo Samuel crap, like I think he's a good fit for that offense. You're not asking him to be a number 1. You're asking him to be a number 2 or number 3. And he can be very dangerous, I think, as a number 2 or number 3, not necessarily a number 1 anymore. The Cowboys have big question marks. You know, they have no running game as of right now.
Traded away Micah Parsons.
They traded away Parsons. I mean, they gave Dak another weapon in George Pickens to complement CeeDee Lamb. But, you know, it's going to be interesting. Here, Aaron, here's a question that just popped up off of Twitch for us. Do you think trading Micah Parsons was Jerry's way of tanking for Arch Manning, and they could package those 2 future firsts to move up?
That's a very interesting question. As we saw, and again, I'm a UT fan, so this hurts my heart, but Arch just wasn't great against Ohio State. He played better than the other guy. I mean, he had more completions, had more yards, but the scoring just wasn't there. He had the 1 pick. So I don't know. I mean, honestly, I don't know if that would be the right move. It might be a way for them to tank, not necessarily for Arch, but for somebody else in the draft. But it very well be. But then again, is Jerry Jones ready to let go of the helm? Like, does he need to stop trying to make these decisions as the GM and the owner and just open up his pocketbook?
Well, I think too, if you take it from that perspective, right? Is that going to be a sign they're going to move off of Dak? Are they going to move off that guaranteed money they have for Dak? I don't know, but because you're not going to bring in a person like Arch from UT with his background and stature to sit, in my opinion. He's going to play.
Well, I mean, the Chiefs did it with Mahomes and Alex Smith. So
yeah, but Mahomes wasn't Mahomes didn't have this hype that Arch does.
That's very true. That's very true.
Because I mean, think about it. I mean, he didn't pan out as an NFL quarterback, but think of they're 2 different type of players. So this is just from a hype perspective. When Tebow came out, how many Denver fans were calling Tebow? You know what I mean? Like, fans are going to be calling for that, and it's going to be interesting. I think it could happen. I don't think he has the balls to do it, but we may see early on. I mean, their win total is only 7.5, which is 7-10. Their schedule is brutal, and I think you had Archie come out and say that Arch is going to sit or stay for another year, and he's not going to come out after this year. But
he's a junior this year, so
he's.
I don't know. I think he might, depending on how the season goes. Because I mean, look at Quinn Ewers. Ewers used his whole availability because he didn't have a great junior year. So he tried to. I mean, his senior year wasn't any better because he didn't fare well in the draft. But again, it just depends, honestly, because I mean, your name can only carry so much. You got to have the oomph.
I think you're gonna have to see. I think you're gonna have to see too how much Arch progresses over the season. I mean, granted,
Right.
it was really his first career. I'm not counting that Louisiana Monroe game that he started, but it was,
Right.
if you think about it, it's his first real start. And it was against it was against Matt Patricia, who was an NFL defensive coordinator, who was the defense coordinator at Ohio State, throwing looks and making him uncomfortable. If he's able to bounce back and recover and have a good season against SEC schools, maybe. I think it's a huge possibility. But I think it's too early to judge just off of one game.
No.
With him.
I mean, there was so much hype around that game too. His nerves had to get the best of him because I know that we didn't see the best of Arch Manning. I mean, that whenever Ewers got hurt and he came in and he played against Alabama, he was doing very, very well. But that was because there wasn't all the hype around him. Now the hype is around him and that game. I just think his nerves may have got a little bit of the best of him.
Yeah,
It kind of threw off his decision making.
And then you have the Giants, like you mentioned. Russell Wilson's their starter. They ironically put Jackson Dart, who did outplay Jameis in the preseason, as their quarterback number 2. So we'll see how quickly they go to Jackson Dart. You know, the offense has potential with Tracy and Neighbors and Scattaboo if he gets some carries. The defense
I'm gonna call it now. If the Giants lose their first 3 games, Dart's gonna be the starter.
Yeah, and it's just gonna be, does Dart steal a game here and there? Because those rookies do that.
Well, and you can't afford to keep losing games, even with a veteran like Russell Wilson. You lose the first 3, obviously there might be an issue. So I would say that Dart will probably start game 4 if the Giants start the season 0-3.
Yeah, let's look. Who do they open with? They open with Washington, then Dallas, then Kansas City, then the Chargers.
Get ready, Jackson Dart. I think you're going to be starting soon.
If he starts, I think it's that game
against the Chargers.
No, against the Saints. So they have game 5.
Oh, game 5. Okay.
So
I don't know. I say by game 4 he started, but you say game 5. We'll see who's right.
Well, because if you look at the game after that Saints game, they play Philly. So I don't think you start him against Philly if that happens. But
that's why I'm saying start him against the Chargers, so he can still see a pretty dang good team. And then if he does well against them, then you got him for Philly. But again, that's all hearsay. All right, let's go to the NFC North. You were talking about
NFC North is a very, very good division. You realistically have 3 playoff teams in that division, and you may have a 4th very, very competitive team with the Bears. So I pick Detroit to win that division again. I think Detroit is too well coached, even though they lost both their coordinators. They're too well coached. Jared Goff plays too well in that stadium for them to be knocked off the helm. I do think Green Bay will be competitive. I think they have a little too much hype after getting Micah Parsons. And one thing I've noticed with Green Bay is if you look at their wide receiver room and you look at their injury report, Matthew Golden is their only healthy wide receiver right now. So Jordan Love gets hurt, but he plays through it most of the time. If you have one healthy wide receiver, I mean, you got question marks there. Running back will be fine with Jacobs. Their defense will be fine with probably even better with the addition of Parsons.
Oh yeah.
But it's going to be, who is Jordan Love throwing the ball to?
Well, and I mean, you're right. But you also got to think too, Jordan Love is a playmaker, so he's going to do whatever he can to make plays work, even with possibly subpar receivers or receivers who are injured. I think they'll come up with the plays to make them work. And actually, that's who I'm picking to win that division is the Packers. I think the addition of Micah Parsons, even though it's all hyped up, I do think he's going to make their defense up a tier. I mean, he's just such a great playmaker. He's hell for quarterbacks in the backfield and running backs. So that's who I'm taking. I'm taking the Packers to win that division.
You got to think too. The Vikings, they have one of the best defenses in the NFL on paper, at least. They did last season. It's going to be with them. It's going to be one, can Justin Jefferson stay healthy, and two, what does JJ McCarthy look like in his first season as a starter?
Exactly. That's always going to be, especially because of the type of injury that he had last season. It's going to be interesting to see how he's able to come back and how he's going to be able to react. I mean, yeah, he shows some flashes in preseason, but it's preseason. Most of the time, you're playing against backups, so it's going to be interesting to see what he can do against a full-fledged starting defense in the NFL.
Yeah, but I'll play advocate to that point. Look at how good Kevin O'Connell made Sam Darnold look last year.
Enough to get him paid.
So like, if he made Sam Darnold look good and resurrected Sam Darnold's career, what's he gonna do with a rookie that he's had a it's just playing advocate to that point.
Yeah,
It's just
and I mean, yeah, because I mean, you got to think too. JJ McCarthy has no NFL experience to play against, or well, Kevin O'Connell. Like he's a fresh, clean slate, so he doesn't have to correct any bad habits. Well, possibly. We'll see. All right, so the NFC South is probably the worst division in the NFL,
yeah.
and I'm gonna go Tampa Bay. I know I'm sure who you're going with as well, but just with the carousel of quarterbacks that's gonna be going on with the Saints, I don't really see them having a strong season. Carolina has a lot to make up for. Does Bryce Young finally prove to be that he's the number one pick?
He looked
And then
very
with
good.
them,
He looked
go ahead, sir.
he looked very good the last 10 games of the season though.
Yeah,
He looked, he finally looked like he figured it out in the NFL. And he looked really good and comfortable in the NFL for the first time, I think. Does he continue that run to look better? I mean, they drafted Ted McMillan, or however you say his name, in the top 10. So it gives them a wide receiver. Chuba Hubbard is a good running back. See if their defense is any good. I think they'll be competitive. Then you have, we're discounting Atlanta a little bit. Atlanta has talent.
yeah.
And
I mean, Michael Penix Jr. proved to be okay last year, but they got rid of Pitts, so now he's gonna have to try to find
they
a.
have talent still.
Oh, okay. Oh, there was trade talks about him. I don't think they actually went through. Okay, so I mean, yeah, you still got Pitts, you got Penix Jr.
Bijan and Drake London as well.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think Ibuka is going to be huge for Baker Mayfield to be able to throw to him, and you still got Mike Evans. So I mean, with two possible stellar wide receivers, obviously Ibuka has to prove himself, but still, um, honestly, I just think Tampa Bay is going to run that division.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's hard. Baker's comfy. He had a great year the last couple years. Like, I think he finally found his home. He has a chip on his shoulder still. I think he's going to be fine. I mean, you have to think about it too. Godwin's coming back off of injury, and he's going to be what, their number 3 receiver. They're going to be just fine.
Right. Okay, so now the other big question mark is going to be the NFC West.
You have a bunch, in my opinion, before we get into team talk, you have a bunch of like average teams in that division.
Yeah. I mean, you got the Niners who have McCaffrey. They just got Robinson. So a little bit falls off McCaffrey where he doesn't have to necessarily cover or carry the entire team. Then you got the Rams with the question mark of Matt Stafford and his health because his back has been messed up. So 1 or 2 bad hits and he might be done for the season. Who do they have behind him?
Jimmy G.
Who has been a little bit of a journeyman throughout his career. And then with Arizona, you got obviously Kyler Murray, but he has been past couple of seasons, he falls under pressure, not always able to finish the game at the end. So does he come back? And then with Seattle, you got Sam Darnold. All right. Played great last year in Minnesota. Is that the Sam Darnold Seattle's going to get? Or are they going to get the Sam Darnold who played in Philly?
But Jets. But yeah.
Oh yeah, Jets. Sorry, I'm thinking of Carson Wentz, another trash quarterback. Just kidding.
I mean, it's going to be interesting. I think Seattle's a question mark. I mean, Seattle, you have, like you mentioned, Sam Darnold. Can Kenneth Walker stay healthy? Charbonnet is supposed to be competing for reps, so maybe that takes pressure off Walker and he can actually stay healthy. Other than Smith and Jigba, they don't really have another wide receiver. They drafted Horton out of Colorado State, who made the roster. So we'll see. I mean, their defense is always usually solid, but I mean that division I think is just going to be the Rams and a tier of their own. I mean, the Rams are old too. Like offensively, like yeah, you have Puka. Puka's great, but you got rid of Cooper Kupp because he's old and can't stay healthy. But then you sign Devontae Adams, who's getting older as well.
Right.
So and then you have question marks at quarterback. Is McVay really gonna continue? Is he have 1 foot out the door? He's already they already contemplated him retiring last year, so it's very interesting.
Stafford or McVay?
Both of them, really.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think McVay retires. He might need to move teams, but I mean, he's still 37 years old. It's awfully young to retire as a coach.
Yeah, but they talked about him not wanting to do a rebuild. So
that means that he might not stay with the Rams. I don't think that means he retires.
Because I can't remember what network it was. I don't know if it was NBC or ESPN offered him like a mega contract where he to do broadcasting, and he almost took it. So
okay, well, it's gonna be interesting. My pick for that division is the Niners. I'm a huge McCaffrey guy. I think McCaffrey is freaking awesome. I think Brock Purdy bounces back from last year. He's been a little injury prone past couple of seasons. I think he bounces back this year. I mean, yeah, they got rid of Samuel, but I mean, I still think that San Francisco has the possibility of being an elite team. They just need to find their niche.
I agree. I think they're too well coached to take another step back. I mean, McCaffrey missed the most and basically missed the whole season. He only played in 4 games. So if he can stay healthy, I think they're going to be competitive. I mean, then my pick is the Rams. I think if Stafford's healthy, McVay's too good of a coach.
Right.
I think they'll win 10 games, and I think 10 games gets that division done. I mean, I don't see them, having a 13, 14 game winner, but I think, 10 games, 10-7, somewhere around there, probably gets that division done and wins that division.
So who are you thinking for the NFC conference?
I'm going to side with you. I'm going to go with the Packers. My Super Bowl prediction is the Ravens versus the Packers. I think when they finally get healthy and they get it rolling and figure it out, LaFleur is such a good coach. It's hard to win playoff games in Lambeau if they end up getting home field and your prediction goes right and they win that division. I think if they can get home field, get some good matchups, I think they can get through and Jordan Love can take them to the Super Bowl.
Yep. And my Super Bowl prediction is going to vary a little bit from yours because, I mean, I know I said my dark horse was the Texans, but I'm going to go with the Bills for the AFC. I'm going to say that they're finally going to beat Mahomes. He's not going to have a 35-second comeback from deficit freaking win. And I'm going to, even though I got the Packers to win the division, I'm going to say the Commanders. I'm going to say that Jaden Daniels gets it done. I'm going to say that they get the conference, and I think that it's going to be a Bills-Commanders Super Bowl.
So who's your Super Bowl winner?
Just because of his backstory, which I'm sure not a lot of people know, Josh Allen wrote to every single college coach in the FBS, and only Wyoming gave him the shot. And now he's one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL. So I'm going to go with the Bills. I'm going to take Josh Allen, and I say he's going to finally do it. He's going to be – and that's actually who I'm going to pick as the MVP. He's also Josh Allen.
Yeah, my MVP pick is Lamar. If I had a close second, it would be, I think, Burrow. But I'm going with Lamar. I think Lamar is going to have to go bananas like he does every year for them to be competitive. And I'm not being biased because he's my fantasy quarterback, but I
Son
think
of a gun, you.
hey, to be fair, in my big money league that has 2 quarterbacks, I have Jaden Daniels and Lamar. So I kind of has
That
to
could be
ride your wave too. I hope Jaden Daniels goes crazy again. But I think Lamar's too good. I think that the defense is too good, and Harbaugh's going to get another chance at the Super Bowl. It's just going to be a matter of when.
Yeah. Okay, and that brings us to tonight's game.
Well,
We
hold
got
on.
the NFL kickoff. Oh, sorry.
Before you get there, what are your futures? What are some future picks that you like that are not related to MVP or AFC or NFC? Are there any win totals that you'd like?
Yeah, I like I said earlier, I like the Pittsburgh. I like Pittsburgh over. I'm gonna take the Texans over, and I'm actually going to go with the Lions under because their total was what? Is 11.5 or
Yeah, I
11?
think so. 11.5, something like that.
I think they're gonna go under. I think they're gonna win exactly 11 games. So those are my 3 picks for the futures.
Yeah, my futures pick is similar to yours. I think the Packers go under. It got bet up to 11.5. Some places have it at 12. I think they win somewhere between 10 and 11 games, which is not unrealistic. 11-7 or 11-6 is no slouch of a season. So
Still could easily win a division.
yeah, I think Packers under 11.5 is a good play. I think the Saints over 5.5. You can probably get that at plus money at most places. I think they're going to be a more competitive team than people give them credit for. I think that the NFC South is so bad that they can easily. I think they can win 6 games. I think they can go 6-11, somewhere around there. And I like the Raiders over. I like the Raiders over 7.5. I mean, I know we talked about their schedule and kind of gone back and forth a little bit, but I think the last couple of years they've lost, under Antonio Pierce and under Josh McDaniels, they were in a lot of games and they just could not get over the hump and they just would falter late. And I don't think you see that happen under Pete Carroll. I think they win some games that they shouldn't win. Maybe they steal one like they sometimes do against KC. Maybe they steal one here and there against Denver. I think that they have a lot of winnable games at home. So I think going 8-9, still losing record, but floating in that competitive state, I think that puts you over that 7.5 win total.
Yeah. Those are all good picks. I mean, we're gonna see. We're gonna keep a tally, see who's right and who's wrong.
So last week, we went to your picks with baseball and football last weekend. You went 5-2. I went 10-4. Still pretty good marks. We did pretty well.
I mean, you put out more picks than I did, and we still finished about the same, percentage wise.
Yeah, we did pretty well. So we're gonna drop our Thursday night picks tonight. Tomorrow's show we'll drop our Sunday. We'll drop our Sunday NFL picks and we'll drop our college football picks for the weekend. But Aaron, what do you like tonight?
I got to go Eagles, man. Like, honestly, I'm not sure if they cover the spread. I don't even know what the spread is right now because it's consistently changing because I'm hearing the book. But I think they're going to win. I definitely think that they would win the game.
DraftKings currently has it 8.5 Philly.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, so we're looking at 10 points pretty much, right? I mean, you can do 9 with field goals, but all right, I'm going to say Philly covers the spread. I'm going to say Philly covers it. With Micah Parsons against a Micah Parsons defense for the Cowboys, I think Philly puts up good numbers, and I say they win by 14.
I like Philly as well. I think they cover. I think Philly covers the 8.5. I like CeeDee Lamb to score a touchdown tonight. I think the Cowboys, Dak is going to look for CD. I think it's a pretty safe bet that he's going to find the end zone. I had a longer shot to score a touchdown, I mean, maybe not a super long shot, but it would probably be Pickens to score a touchdown.
That's
I
what I
think
was
one,
going to say.
I think one of those two is going to score a touchdown tonight. And I think Dak plays better than what people give him credit than what he'll get credit for. His passing yards are over under. I think he goes over 250. I think that they're going to be relying on him to throw the ball a ton since they don't really have a solid running game. So I think Dak 250 plus is a good bet on my end as well.
What does Saquon's rushing yards look like?
100. 100.5.
100?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna say Barkley goes under that.
You think so?
Yeah. I think I'm gonna put him at like probably 95, just depending. Because I'm not sure if they're gonna throw. Because I mean, obviously Barkley is a great receiving running back as well. So do they put him on the flats, throw him some passes as
it
well?
dropped. It just dropped. It's over. It's 97.5. It's even money on the 100 plus, but his over under total is 97.5 minus 115 to the over.
I'm still gonna say under because I think they might use him more as a passing, or they'll throw him some passes as well, so that'll take away from his rushing total. Now his total yards could go over, but I think his specific rushing yards are going to be under.
Well, those are our picks for tonight. Mine are Eagles cover 8.5, 250 plus passing yards for Dak Prescott, and a CeeDee Lamb touchdown.
Mine are going to be Eagles cover, a George Pickens touchdown, and Saquon Barkley under 97.5 rushing yards.
Do we want to drop tomorrow's? I forgot there's a game tomorrow. Do you want to look at tomorrow's as well?
We'll just put it out tomorrow. We'll do the show early enough so we can get it all in.
Okay, yeah, because I forgot the Chiefs and the Chargers play tomorrow.
Play tomorrow, yep. All right, guys. Thank y'all for watching the show. We appreciate it. Don't forget to post your picks of your bets. Follow us if you want on ours. And Mike, as we always say, enjoy the pints.
Enjoy the pints, baby.